The NFC North features 4 teams, all with different outlooks. First, the cream of the crop of the division, the Green Bay Packers, with an offense consisting of Aaron Rodgers and passing threats of Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, who, like Rodgers, will be looking to bounce back from an injury-plagued 2013 season, as well as Offensive Rookie of the Year running back Eddie Lacy. The Green Bay Packers offense should be a force to be reckoned with, and at any given moment, they can find their way into the end zone. But the defense is no slouch either, led by linebackers A.J. Hawk, Clay Matthews, and the recent signing of Julius Peppers. The defense will be just as formidable in the Packers' hopes of a championship. Like Green Bay, the Bears also have a high-powered offense. Jay Cutler can throw with anyone, and the trio of Brandon Marshall, a young Alshon Jeffrey looking for something to prove, and Santonio Holmes may be the best receiving corps in the NFL. Add star running back Matt Forte into the mix and the Bears will have a chance to put up some historic numbers this year. But for the first time in a long time, last season their downfall was the defense, allowing teams to get down the field with ease. But with the return of 2 veterans on defense from injury, Lance Briggs and Charles Tillman, the Bears will be looking to return to their old selves. Some critics say they can't do it, and those same critics will say Jay Cutler cannot lead this team to a championship. One thing is for certain, whether the Bears do it or not, they will have the talent. Speaking of talent, the Detroit Lions have a lot of it, with quarterback Matthew Stafford, an elite wide receiver in Calvin Johnson Jr., another quality target in Golden Tate, on top of an intimidating defensive line with Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley. It would seem Detroit has all it needs, but besides a playoff appearance in 2011 where they lost to the Saints in the first round, Detroit just has not been able to figure it out, and many believe it's due to a lack of focus and discipline. And some are starting to believe that Detroit's on-paper talent will never translate to the football field. And finally, the Minnesota Vikings, who are in a transition period. After the inconsistent Christian Ponder lost his job to Matt Castle, it seems the Vikings have several options at quarterback. They recently drafted Teddy Bridgewater out of Louisville, so it seems he is their choice for the future. But as of right now, it is Castle's job to lose. The question is now, if Castle begins to struggle, which he has been prone to do, will the Minnesota faithful urge the Vikings to bring Bridgewater in, perhaps a bit too early? This could lead to some growing pains, but with the potential for this team to struggle, sometimes you just have to let the young kid go. Besides the controversy at quarterback, the mainstay of the franchise is still running back Adrian Peterson. He will have to carry a large load on offense, but given his track record, it shouldn't be a problem. And it won't all be on the ground. Head coach Mike Zimmer has said he wants to get Peterson going through the air a bit more this year. Speaking of the passing game, receivers Greg Jennings, Cordarrelle Patterson, and tight end Kyle Rudolph will make the process at QB a bit easier. And the offensive line is one of the best in the league, featuring Phil Loadholt, Brandon Fusco, and John Sullivan. Whoever the team wants to throw the ball, they will be protected. As for the defense, the question is the secondary, which is the worst thing you can have in a division like this given the passing attacks. Signing Captain Munnerlyn will definitely be an upgrade, and Harrison Smith can hold his own in the open field. But cornerbacks Xavier Rhodes, Josh Robinson, and Sean Prater, they're all inexperienced and they could be this team's downfall. Add that to the uncertainty at quarterback, and it could be a long season for the Vikings, but if there is one player who can elevate his team to new heights, it is Adrian Peterson. It's going to be an interesting year in the NFC North.